There are so many activist bloggers flying the banner of journalism, and one of these people would be Brandy Zadrozny. Brandy is a journalist for NBC, and I know of her from her frequent retweets of It's Going Down, an anarchist socialist collective that organizes left-wing protests around the country. You know what type of people I'm talking about. Yesterday I came across this article of hers covering the tragic passing of a child from the flu. In the article, Brandy accuses the mother of refusing to give her son Tamiflu, which was prescribed to him by the doctor. She claims that instead, the mother turned to an anti-vax Facebook group where she was given advice for alternatives to help her child. Brandy did not reach out to the mother before making her out to be complicit in her own child's death, and instead took the tragedy as an opportunity to push a call to deplatform this Facebook group. Her associates would also chime in complaining about how many people are part of that Facebook group. Someone, however, did interview the mother. The local news station, the place this journalist probably should have started her research, the local news station from the area had already interviewed her, and in the interview, the mother claims to have given the child the prescribed medicine. From what I can gather, the mother tried everything she could to save her child, which included using the Tamiflu prescribed, as well as anything else she could find that might give him some extra help. In her determination to go after what would be competitors to Big Pharma, Brandy seems to have libeled this woman on a national scale just as an opportunity to censor a Facebook group under the thin veil of defending against misinformation. Imagine seeing something like this, a tragedy like this, and saying to yourself, I can utilize this to push for more censorship. The mother said this in the interview. I'm hurting so bad right now, and so is his dad and his brothers. Our whole family is hurting. And it's like we feel like we failed because we did what we had to do. We called the doctors. We called the hospital. We gave them the medicine we were instructed to give. We did everything. And I will mention this later in this video, but still, this interview has not made it to the article. Brandy's article has not been updated at all. I've been seeing this anti-vax trend starting up over the past year, and their numbers seem to be made up mostly of left-wingers who like to push this narrative that anybody who disagrees with the official consensus on things is brainwashed or something to that effect. The irony is that these people who openly call every businessman a criminal and every politician corrupt, they then place their faith in the pharmaceutical industry, which is built on both corrupt business and politics. You should always be skeptical of people in power, be it big pharma, politicians, or even activist bloggers LARPing as journalists. And by the way, I am by no means identifying as an anti-vaxxer, and I am vaccinated myself. There are a lot of modern-day snake oil salesmen, and it's important for people to be able to identify when someone is selling them something that is too good to be true. That having been said, it's important to give people the freedom to trust in authority themselves on behalf of their family. The mother actually gave the child the medicine, and who can say whether it actually helped or made things worse? As of the production of this video, the article has not been retracted or updated, but Brandy has been active on Twitter, thanking people for their support. Thanks, Roger. That's the story. Yeah, maybe that's the story you want to tell, inciting a nation of digital outrage onto a grieving mother. Even though Brandy has been informed of her mistake, she doesn't even have the respect for the family to update the article and include the interview. That's pretty much all I have to say on this story, but just for kicks, let's take a look at the Journalist Code of Ethics that you can find on Wikipedia. Common elements, accuracy, and standards for factual reporting. Reporters are expected to be as accurate as possible given the time allotted to story preparation and the space available, and to seek reliable sources. Events with a single eyewitness are reported with attribution. Events with 2 or more independent eyewitnesses may be reported as fact. Controversial facts are reported with attribution. Independent fact-checking by another employee of the publisher is desirable. Corrections are published when errors are discovered. Well, let's scroll down just a little bit. Slander and libel considerations. Reporting the truth is almost never libel, which makes accuracy very important. Private persons have privacy rights that must be balanced against the public interest in reporting information about them. Public figures have fewer privacy rights in US law, where reporters are immune from a civil case if they are reported without malice. In Canada, there is no such immunity. Reports on public figures must be backed by facts. Publishers vigorously defend libel lawsuits filed against the reporters, usually covered by libel insurance. And then we have the harm limitation principle, which is the reason I decided to read through this real quick. During the normal course of an assignment, a reporter might go about gathering facts and details, conducting interviews, doing research and background checks, taking photos and recording video and sound in search of justice. Harm limitation deals with the questions of whether everything learned should be reported, and if so, how. The principle of limitation means that some weight needs to be given to the negative consequences of full disclosure, creating a practical and ethical dilemma. The Society of Professional Journalists code of ethics offers the following advice, which is representative of the practical ideas of most professional journalists, quoting directly. Show compassion for those who may be affected adversely by news coverage. Use special sensitivity when dealing with children and inexperienced sources or subjects. Be sensitive when seeking or using interviews or photographs of those affected by tragedy or grief. Recognize that gathering and reporting information may cause harm or discomfort. Pursuit of the news is not a license for arrogance. Let me repeat that one more time for Brandy. Pursuit of the news is not a license for arrogance. Recognize that private people have a greater right to control information about themselves than do public officials and others who seek power, influence, or attention. Only an overriding public need can justify intrusion into anyone's privacy. Show good taste. Avoid pandering to lurid curiosity. So I figured I'd just give you that little snippet. According to journalism's own code of ethics, what Brandy did here was incredibly unethical. At the very least, there should have been some effort in contacting the family or seeing if the family had been contacted prior to writing such an inflammatory article. But hey, we gotta ban that Facebook group, guys. I mean, sorry the whole world thinks that you're a monster, lady, but we need to shut down this mean Facebook group.